Hi Seekers, happy Friday the 13th and new moon in Cancer. Welcome to the Existential Shift. If you're not familiar, my name is Morgane. My entire life was non-routine. I did not have structure, frame, habits. Up until a few years ago, I had no habits. Also, it was borderline impossible to imitate me, to have an imitation of me, because I didn't have repetitive movements or words and pronunciations that I would always use or do. I was somewhat amorphic. Not intentionally, it was a combination of my character with, of course, life circumstances, changes, movements, etc. And throughout all these years, that was a big part of my spiritual journey and evolution. For me, being liquid, being water, not being stiff, flexible, all ever changing, was my way of acknowledging the existence of death, knowing that nothing ever remains, that the only constant is change. It allowed me to go through changes both on my 3D mundane world, but also inside. It allowed me to evolve cognitively, emotionally, spiritually, because I wouldn't hold on to paradigms, dogmas. I didn't have strong habits that I needed to do every single day at any given moment. You could not predict me. It was very much a combination of the Wheel of Fortune and the Hangman. The Hangman is about looking at things from a different perspective and constantly changing and playing the game of life. Being something different at any given moment in accordance to what circumstances require. It served me well. Until I realized that was my habit. That my constant was the lack of constant. That my habit was the lack of habit. I was predictable in the way of I'm never predictable. It's almost like someone, I didn't do it intentionally, but it's almost like someone who rebels just for the sake of rebellion. It's not that they have necessarily something to say about a certain thing. It's not like the organization or the structure are necessarily bad. They just rebel because that's who they are, a rebel. Well, if you're a rebel without a cause, then you're just doing it for whatever. Now, for the majority of the time, it was my spiritual evolution, and it was powerful. I've gained a lot of knowledge, a lot of growth. You could not hunt me down. Until I realized that is my lacking. That is my Achilles heel. The thing that I can't do is be constant. My weakness is the inability to have a simple habit. When do I go to sleep? What kind of beverage do I have to have in the morning? Have to have. I was unable to be dependent on anything. For me, having a habit meant dependency. I have to have my coffee in the morning? That's weak. I have to have a cigarette? That's weak. I would smoke sometimes. I haven't smoked in years, but when I smoked cigarettes, it was on and off. I was never actually addicted. My limitation was no limitations. And when you're unable to sit still, not just physically, but also cognitively, but obviously if you can't still sit still physically, it affects the mind and the heart and the spirit because they're also in constant movement. When you're unable to sit, your roots can't grab fully, and then your branches can't grow fully. So you hop, and you experience everything and you're everywhere, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but you're never fully actually completely in something. Now, I never felt that. I was never much aware of it because I had a lot of energy and I was able to do a lot of things and kind of stretch myself thin, but not so thin because my energy was strong. So it didn't feel thin until I realized cognitively that I am limiting myself with my inability to have limitations. So what did I do? And I will explain soon what I'm telling you, why I'm telling you this. What did I do? I forced myself to have habits. I'm like, okay, what do I like to drink? I like coffee. Okay, now I have to have my morning coffee. I started drinking coffee in the morning every single morning, even though I didn't necessarily want to or felt like it, whether I felt like it or didn't feel like it, just for the sake of the habit. I started taking specific classes that I really liked about 2 years ago, karate for this case, and started doing it consistently. I was like, this is my thing. This is who I am now. Because before that, the I am was an actress. And an actress, the essence of acting is that you're ever changing. You're constantly different characters. I've developed an I am. For me, having an I am was weakness. I'm like, I'm not limited to one type of characteristics. I'm everything on all the scales of characteristics. I can be all of it. I can be none of it, depending on the situation. I can be a bitch. I can be a sweetheart. I can be extremely sharp. I can be a ditz. What do I feel like it now? What do I need to do now? But when I decided to evolve by allegedly going back, developing habits, but no, because I couldn't do it, the fact that I've tried hard to do it was a type of another evolution. So I did all kinds of things, developed habits. And what do you know? Before you know it, I've grown accustomed and even grown to like it. Now, I know my spirit guided me towards that resolution, towards that next step of my evolution, aka growing habits. I was guided towards it by mundane circumstances, allegedly bad. For a while, I was limited in my ability to go to different places. I won't go to the extent of explaining because it's too personal, but I didn't have the ability to go to too many places. I had to stay in one place geographically, even though before that I traveled nonstop. But for a period of time, I didn't have the possibility to over travel. Personal reasons. Allegedly, it was bad for someone who likes to move and to be free. Freedom for me is a huge notion. It's the notion. I wasn't free. That forced me to stay put. But here's what happened. I have arrived to that conclusion that I just described in the past few minutes. I need to grow habits. And not only that I made the cognitive conclusion, I also had the circumstances to my benefit that allowed me to develop habits. Because if I were to be able to move around and be free as I was always, then I probably, even if cognitively I decided to develop habits, in practicality, maybe I wouldn't have done that. Because something would have popped up, a work there, an adventure there, something. But I had the opportunity to stay put. Now, only recently I've managed to look at it in that way. For a really long time, I was feeling like, what is the universe doing to me? I tried to understand the lesson. I tried maybe harsh karma. And then it dawned on me. My spirit wanted this. This is for my growth. This is the time for me to be still, to set roots and grow by developing habits, by being predictable, by being mundane. Normal people, everyday people have habits. Every human being has habits. Certain quirks that you can imitate. I literally had to develop some. I'm not kidding. It sounds weird. You don't have to believe me, but I did. And for the past 2, 3 years, that's what I've been doing. I was like, I'm a normal person. I've managed to be a normal person. I have my habits. I have my personality. I have and I am. But as with everything, once you overdo something or you grow to like it, that's the risk of being stuck in it. When it's no longer your evolution and you're just there. When you build a really high tower and you stay on the, I don't know, 10th floor, and you realize you really, really like it. And even though the master plan was 100 floors of building, I'm just saying, but the 10th floor is pretty cool and pretty nice. And I think I've done a lot of things. And okay, this is great. Okay, I think I'll stick around. Or maybe I'll go to the 11th floor soon. Maybe I'm not ready yet. That's what we tell ourselves, right? We go through the next level. It's just the next level, one level out of many. But it's so great and feels so amazing. It's like when you have to give up something good for the benefit of something great. So many of us are in sometimes, which is not a bad thing, but we're in a very good place and we don't want to give that up for something amazing but what if that won't work and I have it kind of good? I mean, we can take risks when everything is shitty. What do we have to lose? But when we have something to lose, it's harder to take a risk. So I've found myself spiritually, in my spiritual evolution, in the pool of the habits, in the pool of the I am. But it was an illusion. And it dawned on me recently. Why? In the past couple of months, a month or two, I was yanked. I literally feel like a hurricane came into my life, swirled me, and just started moving me around and shifting me, existential shift, existentialistic wise, in an existential way, but also in a geographical way, in a mental way, in an emotional way, in a spiritual way. Everything is shifting inside of me and outside of me. It's very much the wheel of fortune. And I'm like, but why? I was like, but why? Finally, I've grown my habits. I had my thing. What is going on, universe? Why are you doing this to me? It's not, my spirit is doing this. It's craving the next step. The next existential shift for myself. The next level. Also reminds me of the world card. The world is massive success. We've attained everything. Now what? Now we got all our dreams come true. You did everything we wanted to do. I'm not claiming that that's where I'm at. I'm just saying theoretically it reminds me of the essence of the world card. We did everything we could have done. We achieved everything. Now what? Do we stay? No, that's festering. Now we find other ways to evolve. Maybe doing something else, maybe doing the same thing but in other ways. Always a way. Sitting still is valid and important. You do that in order to process all the growth that you went through and the journey that you went through to get you to where you're at. And in that stillness, you work on eliminating, is that the word? The negative dust, the gunk, the goo of the hard work, the emotional charge that you've that you attained with your hard work and your journey. So you clear the dust, and then you stay with the good, with the evolution, with the progress, with the growth, with the success, whatever it may be, and you relish in it and you enjoy in it, and you prepare yourself for the next level, for the next journey, for the next growth, for the next level. So the sitting still consists of that. So it's also temporary. And when did that click for me? Today. I realized, and I'll tell you exactly how it happened. But what I realized is me being yanked out of my habits is not me being yanked, it's me pulling myself out of it. Going back to my bewitching state, to the state of mind of the fool, the everything and the nothing. Where if I have a habit, it's because I feel like it, but not because I've grown accustomed to it and now I can't be without it. Excuse me? I can be without anything and I can be with anything. And my spirit is showing me this now through the circumstances. Allegedly exterior. Yes, thank you, universe, for helping my spirit fulfilling its journey and its actual will. I needed out of that structured habit. Not because it was bad, it was wonderful and amazing. But I was at the risk of drowning, of festering, of sitting too still to the point of being numb. And then came movement. I know I'm being vague, just because I don't want to give too much personal information, but I moved around. I've been traveling. You saw the July readings, Taroscopes, different places. Now I'm in Vegas. Hi. Vegas is cool. Just got here today. On the way here, I was reading a book by Carlos Castaneda. It's called Separate Reality. And in the part that I was reading, it spoke of something very, very, very accurate and deep that triggered my understandings, my conclusions. Don Juan, the shaman that this entire book is about, he's describing the essence of the hunter. Now, I'm taking it in a philosophical way because I can't stand hunting. I think it's ridiculous. I think hunting an animal for the sport is weak and ridiculous. And of course, you're going to win. You have a gun. But you're not really an apex predator. The only thing that makes you the top predator is your machines. But you versus nature, you versus the lion, you versus the bear, you don't stand a chance. The essence of hunting in the old days, where it was for the sake of survival, when you lived off the land and you used every bit of the animal and you never used more than you actually needed. You never killed for the sport. You never killed for the fun. You killed for the essence of the survival, for your own life. And you had honor and respect for the animal kingdom. Talking about that essence and the philosophical essence, I will explain. But not the, oh, I'm going to hunt to feel cool with my gun, post a picture on Facebook. That's disgusting. Disgusting. So, to the real essence. The way hunters hunt is first and foremost by analyzing the animals, their prey's habits, routines. Where do they go to eat? Where do they go to sleep? How do they do it? What time? When a prey is predictable, it's easy to hunt it down. If you want to be an existential shifter, if you want to be a witch, a wizard, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to call it, someone that works with energy and life and isn't limited to their natal chart, to their heritage, to their background and where they grew up and all that jazz. Because all that is, it's beautiful and it's historical and it's fun, but it's also limiting, because if you are this and I am this and I am that, then you can't be anything else. If you're constantly, oh, I come from there and this is who I am and this is what I do, this is what I believe in. Okay, all right. This is your world. Enjoy. Not much of ability to actually create and manifest. In order to manifest, you need to be the grand creator. You need to be Gaia. You need to be Earth. You need to be Mother Nature. Have no limitation. Work with all the elements. Oh, I'm not water. I was born Earth. Okay. Well, you can develop water, learn water, grow into water. No, I am earth. Okay. Mother Nature creation is earth, water, wind, fire, air, fire. It's all the elements. It's the alchemy between everything. It doesn't judge different elements. It does what it needs to do to maintain existence. You have all the elements in you. Why do you decide that you're one thing or another? It's very limiting. Your habits are limiting. They make you into a prey. Your routines make you a prey. When I went into the world of routine and of habit, it was part of showing myself that I can and developing that ability. Not having the routine of the non-routine. Me constantly being in change is also a routine, right? So I needed to show myself and to my spirit and to my evolution that I could be even other things. I am the change. I am the nothing. Well, that is sort of I am. If you really if I really wanted to not be all these things, if I really wanted to be not limited, then I had to not be limited just to that nothingness and developed a sense of self. Sense of selves, many of those. I'm not psychotic. I don't have multiple personalities. All my characteristics communicate with each other with harmony and with awareness. I'm just wide. Not going to apologize. You can think I'm weird. That's okay. But if I talk to you, I'm not lying or faking or pretending to be something. In the moment, I am what I am. I'm really that. I'm always sincere, always honest, always truthful. I say what I feel in the moment, but I have the ability to shift my emotions in case they don't serve me. You're mean to me and I'm in love with you? Well, let me work on that. Bye. I don't feel it anymore. It takes time and work, but it's possible. Just an example. But it can relate to anything. So if you have routine, doesn't matter if the routine is the most different, unique, special, weird, out of the norm type of routine. If it's a routine, it's a routine. If you are a circus aerial, whatever, then allegedly you don't have a routine, right? Because you travel all the time and you do a very different type of work. But that's your routine. You do it day by day. Every week you travel elsewhere. That's your routine. Try to sit down in one place and have a 9 to 5. See how you can handle it. That's your limitation. Then you can't do everything. Then you're not completely free. Freedom, true sense of freedom, is to be able to do everything. Anything. At any given moment. Because that's what you need to survive. Or that's what you need to evolve. Or both. Or that's what you need for the fun. Doesn't matter. The ability to do that, that's true freedom. And now life showed me that by yanking me from my routine that I've developed. Great. I left my weird routine into a normal routine, but then I drowned in it. So life is reminding me, hey, remember what you did in the first place. Remember who you are, or who you're not, or what you are not. So if you want to be the existential shifter, if you want to be the witch, if you want to be the wizard, the creator, the manifester, if you want to be a hunter, because that's what I mean when I say a hunter, the shaman hunter, you cannot have routines. Because a hunter that has routines, tomorrow will become the prey because someone else will hunt him down. A smart animal will know how to hunt the hunter. If the hunter tries to hunt a smart prey, the prey can turn it around him if the hunter also has routines. You want to be completely free? You want to be a real hunter? Challenge yourself to be different. If you're always different, challenge yourself to be normal. New moon and Cancer, guys. Cancer is the ocean. It's the everything. I'm Cancer ascendant. Many times people show me their true self. There's a birthday outside. A lot of teenagers are celebrating birthday for someone and they're super loud. Now, here's what I'm taking from what I've just been talking about for 24 minutes. Normally, I would get really annoyed. I'm impatient like that. Oh, and now it's quiet. See? It's because I learned the lesson. My lesson was to listen to myself. If normally I would get annoyed, or maybe turn off the camera and then keep going afterwards and edit the two segments together. Now I was like, it's okay, let's add it to the video. Let's be flexible. And as I accepted it, and as I was okay with it, for real, I wasn't faking it. I just tapped into the place that was like, oh, cool, party. I looked at it from a positive point of view. It stopped. Because once you understand, once the lesson really clicks, it no longer repeats. It's not enough to cognitively understand the lesson. It needs to click here. You need to mean it. You need to intend it for real. So as I was saying, new moon in Cancer. Cancer is the ocean. Morgaine, by the way, means beneath the ocean. The thing, and beneath the ocean, in Gaelic, and beneath the ocean, the earth, if it cracks a little bit, it starts a little movement of the water, which grows and grows and grows to waves, to massive. It becomes a tsunami. One little crack beneath the ocean can cause, can cause an enormous tsunami in the other part of the planet, of the earth. One little shift of the self can literally transform your entire reality. Go play. Go play, my dear seeker. Who do you want to be? What do you want to be? What do you want to have? What do you want to do? Don't try to control the reality in order to make that happen. Control the self. Shift the thing inside. Have the little wheel inside of you click and turn just in the right way that you need it to turn. And that will turn the larger wheels and the larger wheels and the larger wheels. And from the change inside, your entire reality will change instead of the other way around. Instead of having your entire reality always changing and then affecting you like a leaf in the wind, be the change yourself. You be the shift. You be the existential shift. And you create massive changes in your reality. I just realized it's not reality in the universe that yanked me out of my world. I did it because I wanted to. So I started changing things inside, asking for things, focusing on things, harnessing energy from the inside, really communicate what and how I wanted. And I feel like I'm starting to get it. I didn't see it until now because it was so chaotic, all the changes. But now I'm like, I see the direction. I'm getting exactly what I wished for. This is not a mess. This is beautiful. And you know, Cancer, again, to the moon, back to the new moon in Cancer. I'm Cancer ascendant, so I really know how it feels. We are a reflection. The essence of water, it's a reflection. So anyone that faces you, they see themselves. It's like a mirror. It's like water. If you are water, anyone that approaches you, they see themselves. They don't see you. So the way they respond to you, they think it's you, but it's actually themselves that they see in the face of you. Okay? So let's say you manage to actually be like that. Be water. Bruce Lee. I love Bruce Lee. I'll tell you another story soon. He said, be water, my friend. I think I spoke about it in the Cancer video, or was it the Scorpio video? In the Scorpio video. Be water. And when you're water, ever changing and ever the same, ever gentle, ever powerful, ever life-giving, ever drowning, everyone who encounters you, they see themselves in you. And from the way they respond to you, you can say a lot. You can see a lot about them. You can know a lot about them. It happens to me a lot. People's true essence literally comes out in front of me. People who are normally very smiley and very polite and very in control, suddenly they'll be angry and agitated and they'll blame me for it, even though I didn't do anything. But then I'll see them for what they really are. Or the opposite. People are normally impatient or loners or kind of secluded or keep to themselves. Suddenly I'll talk to them and they'll open up and they'll be giggly and cheerful and open-hearted. And then I'm like, oh, your true essence is actually beautiful. And not because I'm a wonderful person that does something to people. It's not because I am the truth, therefore you are the truth. No, I'm just nothing. I'm just water. So you see yourself when you look at me. Yourself, your true self comes out. It's a challenge. It's not easy sometimes, seeker. If you go to that journey of being like that, it comes with pain. But it also comes with endless energy and power to manifest your life. Keep in mind modesty. Not everything that is up to you. You can't become, like in the movie, someone who controls the world. It's not about control. Once you maintain true power, and that's the strength card, once you maintain that kind of power that I'm talking about, you no longer have, the ego dissolves, because the ego, with the knowledge, the ego starts to be like, oh, there's no room for me because the ego is stupid. Because the knowledge is so powerful in the face of ego. So you no longer have that will to control. So when you finally attain that power, then you don't really want to control or use it for any means. It's a complicated journey that requires both power and modesty in the face of this endless existence that is bigger than us. Even if you are the ocean, you are a drop in the endless ocean of existence. So you're the ocean of the planet. Okay, how many planets are out there? Be vast, but remember that you're also nothing. I just want, for the end, I want to give you an example of the responsibility that you have also for yourself when you request things. A few days ago, I rode my bike for an hour and a half to Chinatown in LA to visit the bronze sculpture of Bruce Lee, because I'm a fan. And I sat there, I got there and I sat there in front of his sculpture and I just looked at him and meditated a little bit, not like, but just stared. And people walked by, took their selfies. And before I left, I asked for his energy. I asked to tap into his energy. And I asked him to inspire me with his energy to also have some of that wisdom and that amazing abilities that he had. Because I'm a martial artist and he's the ultimate martial artist. And philosopher. I loved his philosophy. And that really connects to everything that I just said. Be water. Be everything and nothing. Techniques, specific technique only limitates you to be one thing. And then you're limited. And so I gently asked that of his energy. And then I drove my bike back. And then I stopped on the way in a red light, because you drive your bike on the highway. So, sorry, not the highway, but with the cars. And it was a red light, and it was kind of a sketchy neighborhood, but I wasn't really aware of that. I was just focusing on my thing. So I stopped in a red light. I looked down at my phone. So I had my head in my phone. A homeless person crossed the street and got really, really close, too close. And he looked sketchy. Honestly, he looked like a meth head. But he got so close to the point of almost touching me, so I had to. Smiling doesn't work in that situation. If you're a guy, you wouldn't probably understand what I'm talking about. But women, you understand what I mean. If you smile, it just encourages them, right? You know that. So you have to be assertive. And I'm like, walk away, move on. Not in a too aggressive, rude way, but just in a firm way that makes it clear that don't mess with me. Walk away. So he seemed at first to be walking away. He took one step. So I did something that I should not have done. I should have waited to see that he really is leaving. But he only took one step, and I thought, okay, he's leaving. I looked down at my phone, then I took my phone to put in my purse, so I had my head down. Next thing I know, I see his fist hitting me in the forehead. It's called tatsui, this part. He did this. And it was so hard. It's very painful. What he did, he literally leaped in the air and hit me like that, straight face, and ran off. So there's nothing I was to do about it. Okay, and he was a drugged homeless person, crazy. So it hurt like hell, and I was so upset. I was like, why? Why did that just happen to me? What did I do? What did I do? Why did I deserve that? It was real, and I had like bumps for a couple of days. Never mind, but I kept writing back home, and I was like, why did that happen to me? And I was so upset. I was like, how did I not see it? How did I not block it? I'm a martial artist. How did I not defend myself? Why did I not see it coming? Why did he hit me? Why did he even manage to hit me? And I got home and I sat in front of my computer and immediately was like, I have my dojo, but not where I was. It's back in New York. So it's like immediately like different martial artists, dojos, things to do. And then from that, because I was so upset that it happened to me, and that search led me to a second lineage of Bruce Lee, a teacher that is a second lineage of Bruce Lee. And the day after, I took class with him, just for the experience. You ask for something, you don't know how it will come to you. I had to be hit really hard on the forehead in order to actually find a very accurate energy that is a lineage, a direct lineage to Bruce Lee. Be careful what you wish for. Be careful how you wish for. And think ahead. And if it's really what you want, be very accurate with the way you ask it. You can ask, what will allow me to have or receive this, blah, 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 in the most benevolent way, to my highest good, to everybody's highest good, with no harm and with joy. Say something like that. But also be prepared that maybe things won't happen in an easy way or the way you have imagined. Energy exists. If you take energy from one place in order to manifest something with it, then it goes away from another place. If I took energy to connect to the energy of Bruce Lee, then that energy had to come out of somewhere else. In that case, my safety, my physical safety. It hurt. So I'm okay. But I was just trying to make a point. I was just wanting you to know that this journey is not always stars and candies. It gets brutal. The more you want to know, the more you learn. And you don't have to. But if you walk this path of the existential shift, of the tarot, by the way, all these things that I'm telling you, I connect these things to the cards. I have the Tarot Masterclass if you want to learn tarot and or spiritual things like this, energetic work like this. You can feel free to watch my Tarot Masterclass. The introductions are on my YouTube channel here, but on my Vimeo on demand, I'll put the link below. You can have the classes. Every time I post a lesson for a different card, and every card is anywhere between 20 to 30 minutes. I delve. And of course, in my Taroscopes, I always talk about these things. But I was inspired to do this 13th element video of mine. What I do it every month, but specifically on Friday the 13th. I think it's perfect, and in the new moon in Cancer. Be a hunter, the philosophical hunter. Don't go hunting rabbits now. Be a hunter. Be water. Be everything. Be nothing. I will start doing the August Taroscopes maybe next week. I love you so much, my dear seekers, all the zodiac. Thank you so much for being on my journey, for being a part of the existential shift, for your subscriptions, for your likes, for your comments. In case you weren't sure, I read all your comments. I just can't always answer them, but I love to read you. I love to read your stories and how it resonated. Thank you for that. I do, if you want a private session, I'll leave my email below as well. You can email me. I do private sessions all over the world through Skype or Google Hangouts. It's super easy. And I will ask a message from the cards for you guys. One card, a message for my dear seekers. In honors of Friday the 13th. In honors of the new moon in Cancer. In honors of Bruce Lee. In honors of Don Juan by Carlos Castaneda. In honor of energetic hunters all over the world. Honors of the shamans, of the creators, of the alchemists, of the wizards and of the witches. In honors of the sun, of the moon, of the stars. In honors of you. In honors of the existential shift. A message for everyone until the next time I have a video. Wow. 8 of Wands. Swift movement, change, from passion, from creation. 8 is also the infinity and the karma, so the infinite aspect of change and growth. Fire. Make your dreams come true. Make your wishes come true. Manifest. Tap into your will and have it explode out. I love you guys. More gain. I'll see you next time.